These are real people, real cameras, real darkness. Every single story you're about to see was captured on video by someone who had no idea what they were walking into. Campers.
If that was a stick that's fallen out of that tree or something was thrown.
Hikers.
Oh, that's creepy, isn't it?
Van lifers. People who simply wanted to get away from it all, who found something waiting for them when they did. Some of them heard things they still can't explain. Some of them saw things they wish they hadn't. And some of them made it back to tell the story by the thinnest possible margin. The footage is real. The fear is real. And after tonight, you may never look at the woods the same way again. Like and subscribe for more disturbing camping encounters. Disturbance in the woods. Welcome to the woods. UK has been documenting something in this forest for months. A strange figure, caught on drone footage and trail cams, moving through the trees like it doesn't want to be found. He's been here before, and so has whatever lives in these woods. Tonight, he's coming back, and this time, he's got a plan. He's not walking in blind, he's thought this through. A decoy tent, set up a couple hundred yards from where he'll actually be sleeping. And tucked beneath a camouflaged covering nearby, he positions a long-range camera with full night vision pointed directly at it.
So yeah, I'm all set up now. I didn't want to give it away where I was camping, so I didn't film too much, but I'll spin you around and show you what I've done. Don't know if you can see it, but just against that tree that's out there in the opening, that is the decoy camp.
Whatever comes into this forest tonight, he'll see it before it sees him. The trap is set. Now he waits. Hours pass, nothing. Just the sounds of a UK woodland at night. And then, the camera catches it. The decoy tent, yards away, in the dark. It shudders. Violently. Not a rustle, not the wind. Something physically disturbs that tent with enough force to nearly bring it down completely.
If that was a stick that's fallen out of that tree or something was thrown. I'll have to replay the footage, but I'm not sure whether a branch fell out of the tree or something was thrown at that.
He watches it happen in real time and has no explanation. No stone, no animal, nothing visible on camera. And then, silence again. Until the screaming starts.
I want to keep this light as low as I can. But it sounds like a woman shouting or screaming. Jesus.
It sounds like a woman, somewhere out in those trees, shouting, screaming. Close enough to hear clearly, far enough that he can't find the source.
Jesus. The hell is that? What the hell is that? Switch over to night vision 1 second.
He knows these woods. He knows what animals sound like at night. This wasn't an animal. He made it through the night. The figure never showed its face. The screaming stopped as suddenly as it started, and the tent, the decoy, just sat there, collapsed, undisturbed for the rest of the night. He still doesn't know what hit it, and neither do we. The Druid's altar. There are places in the woods that people aren't meant to find. Grizzly Gaz found one. Deep in the forests of the UK, somewhere near an old forgotten reservoir, Rumors of a druid's altar had been circulating.
Hello? Oh, look at the state of this. There you go. If you know, you know. The eyes down there.
Gaz wanted to see it for himself. He packed his gear, brought his dog Fendi, and headed in. He should have turned around at the first sign. Before he even set up camp, an abandoned campsite, gear left behind, nobody around. In the middle of nowhere, he filed it away in the back of his mind and kept moving.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Camp was set. Coffee was on. Fendi was calm. The woods were quiet. Too quiet. Then something in the darkness detonated. A crash so violent it shook the tree line. Not a falling branch, not a stumbling animal. Something with intention behind it. Something that wanted to be heard. The forest went dead silent immediately after. That's what made it worse. Any sane person goes back to their tent and stays there. Gaz took Fendi and walked toward it. The deeper they went, the more wrong it felt.
Just heard something splashing about down there. Fendi, stop moving about, grunting, you muppet.
The owls had stopped calling. The air had a weight to it. Fendi stayed close, closer than usual. Dogs don't do that unless they sense something you can't. Then the fort appeared through the trees. Makeshift, deliberately hidden, built by someone who didn't want to be stumbled upon.
Oh, look at this. And this isn't what I saw, but looks like someone's been making a fort here.
Then the abandoned camp again, this time up close. Trash strewn everywhere. Evidence of someone who had been living out here. Off-grid. Off the map. Hidden. And then Gaz reached the bottom of the slope. And he stopped. What he expected was ancient stone. A relic. Something historical.
It's a shame my head torching ain't working. There we go, look. What's that on top of it? What is that? Oh, do we dare even come in here?
What he found was concrete blocks arranged with deliberate, careful intention. An altar, built by human hands, recently. And sitting on the center block, an upside-down Bible, not weathered, not decayed, placed there.
That's creepy, isn't it? Upside down Bible. Oh, I don't like that.
Gaz didn't say much after that. He turned his dimming headlamp toward the trail, called Fendi tight to his side, and the two of them moved through the darkness back to camp. Quickly, without looking back. Somewhere in those woods, someone built a place of worship in the dark. They haul concrete blocks into the middle of a forest to do it. They leave their camp behind, but always come back. And the night Gaz was out there, that crash, that silence that followed, something knew he was there. RV Intruder. October 16th, 2022. 12 miles south of Williams, Arizona. No neighbors, no signal. Nothing but pine trees and darkness in every direction. Larry was alone in his RV when the screaming started.
Hear that?
Not an animal, not the wind, a woman, screaming from somewhere out in the trees. He sat there, breathing, listening, trying to convince himself it wasn't what it sounded like. It was exactly what it sounded like. Every instinct told him to stay inside, lock the door, keep the lights off. But what if someone was out there? What if someone needed help? Larry opened the door and stepped out into the dark. His flashlight cut through the trees in every direction. Nothing. No movement. No figure. No source. Just the beam bouncing off pine trunks and disappearing into black.
Hello?
And then he saw him. A man, standing just beyond the reach of the flashlight, still watching. Larry ran. He threw himself back into the RV and locked the door behind him, hands shaking, heart hammering, mind racing through every possible explanation. Then the gunshot. One shot, somewhere close, in the trees. This wasn't a lost hiker. This wasn't a coincidence. Whoever was out there had intentions, and they weren't good. The banging started seconds later, fists against the door of the RV, hard, deliberate.
What do you want?
Then the alarm. Larry's blood ran cold. The man wasn't at the door anymore. He was underneath. Strange sounds crawled up through the floor from the bay door below. Scraping, shifting, someone actively trying to get inside. Larry was armed. He waited, weapon ready. Every sound magnified in the silence of the Arizona wilderness. And then, nothing. The noises stopped. Just like that. Larry cracked the door, stepped outside, swept the darkness with his gun. Nobody there. Just the trees. Just the dark. Just the echo of everything that had happened, still hanging in the cold night air. He confirmed later that he was safe. But he also said something that's hard to shake. That was the most terrifying night of his life. And Larry had been camping alone in remote locations for years. Whatever that man wanted that night, Larry never found out. And that might be the most unsettling part of all. Creepy off-grid cabin. June 2025. A tiny nomad was exhausted from the road and needed to recharge. A quiet cabin retreat seemed perfect. Remote. Peaceful. Exactly what she needed. She had no idea she was walking into two of the worst nights of her life. The warning signs were there the moment she arrived. That feeling. The one that starts in your stomach and works its way up your spine. Solo travelers learn to recognize it. Most of us learn to ignore it. She ignored it. The first evening started quietly enough. A book. Some silence. The kind of stillness you pay good money for when you've been on the road too long. Then the knocking started.
And I just heard this loud knock. It came from the back of my cabin. And it scared me to the point I immediately jumped up and started looking all around the windows to see if I could see an animal. I was looking for maybe a bear, because there is bear around here, but I couldn't see anything.
From behind the cabin. Deliberate, not a branch, not the wind settling into old wood, a knock. Intentional and unhurried. Like whatever was out there had all the time in the world. She didn't sleep that night, not a single minute. Morning came and brought no relief. In the daylight, she noticed something she hadn't clocked when she arrived. An old camera hanging from the porch, pointed inward.
It just adds to the creepiness of this place, in my opinion. I don't like it.
Who put it there? Who was watching the feed? She had no answers. Then it hit her all at once. She was miles from her car. The cabin shower wasn't inside. It was on the side of the house, exposed, vulnerable, out in the open. Every detail she had brushed off when she arrived, now stacked on top of each other like evidence. The second night was worse. The isolation she had paid for was no longer a luxury. It was a trap. 4 walls in the middle of nowhere with something outside that knew she was alone. She thought about leaving. Seriously considered packing her things in the dark and driving until the cabin was far behind her in the rearview mirror. Sometimes the road teaches you hard lessons. Safety isn't 4 walls and a roof. Sometimes safety is trusting your gut on night 1 and driving away before night 2 ever comes. Come out with your hands up. Tori Delury was already having the week from hell. Kicked out of one campsite, wheels swallowed by mud at the next. The kind of week that makes you question every decision that led you to living out of a van in the first place. Then she woke up to sirens. Red and blue light bleeding through the van windows. The sound of radios and shouting cutting through the darkness. Her first thought, they were there for her. They weren't there for her.
They're bringing out these big guns, these big dogs, and I have no idea what's going on, but there is a cop car pulled behind me on both sides of me, and there's a guy with a gun in front of me, and I see someone being arrested to the side.
What was unfolding outside wasn't a noise complaint. It wasn't someone checking on a suspicious vehicle parked on the side of the road. It was a full police operation, active, unfolding right around her. And her van was parked directly in the center of it. The kind of situation where you're not a suspect and you're not a victim, you're just in the way. And in the wrong place at the wrong time, that's sometimes the most dangerous thing you can be. Collateral damage doesn't ask for permission. So Tori did the only thing she could do. She stayed inside, kept quiet, kept still. Watched the chaos unfold around her through the van windows and prayed for a window. One clear moment to start that engine and disappear down the road without becoming part of whatever this was. Some nights on the road test your nerves. This one tested everything. The woods don't care that you drove hours to get there. The darkness doesn't care that you needed to escape. And whatever is out there, it doesn't care that you're alone. If these videos taught us anything, it's that the warning signs are always there. The uneasy feeling, the sound that doesn't belong, the shadow at the edge of the light. Trust it, because the most dangerous thing you can do out there isn't going too deep into the woods. It's ignoring the part of you that says you should have never gone in at all. Stay safe out there, and maybe leave a light on tonight.